Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Spencer from Neoweather. I'm sure by now you heard of some rumblings of a weekend winter storm across parts of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. And we wanted to provide you a little bit different perspective this time around with this storm, since it is so broad and it is going to affect a large area. So we put together a little presentation here. It has a couple model runs in it, and then our forecast here at the end. So we have a few different model solutions at this point in time. We have one model that has a lot of snow across Missouri and even on up into parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, and across the Ohio Valley. We have a couple others that, not quite so much in these areas too. And then we have one that's kind of a middle ground between two. So I'm going to run you through a couple models here to kind of show you what I'm talking about. This particular model is the Namm model. It's a short-range model. It goes out about 3.5 days. This runs from Friday through Saturday night, so it will not cover the entire storm at this point in time. But it starts out here near Lubbock, Texas, with some rain, a little bit of snow in the mountains with a wave of low pressure coming off the Rocky Mountains. As we put this into motion here, you can see we get plenty of moisture. It comes into it fast. The rain changes to snow. It gets up into northern Illinois into Iowa. And then it really backs off here Saturday night. It gets to be quite messy. Looked real good out here. And then the whole thing just kind of started falling apart. Low pressure is actually here around Memphis. It pretty much moved from Lubbock to Memphis. And we're going to see that general eastward motion continue, I believe, at this point in time. That seems to be the general consensus. There is cold air behind this, high pressure over here. We'll bring in cold air for the second half of the weekend and into early next week. Now, one of the problems here, and we can't see it on here, it's actually behind our banner here, is we have strong high pressure over Canada that's really suppressing this system and keeping it from taking more of a northeasterly track like we would usually want to see with these storms. So it's more of the southern track here, more west to east track, which is what we've been seeing all winter so far. Let's take a look at another model. You guys are probably familiar with this one, the GFS model, the American model, the long-range model. It has low pressure here near Lubbock, a little more precipitation in it on Friday night than the Namm did. We also have high pressure ejecting out of the Ohio Valley. That's going to move off to the north and east as we see that. And as we put this into motion, plenty of moisture comes into this. Rain changes to snow across Missouri. That moves up the Ohio Valley, and it then kind of starts falling apart too. But as you can see, the low track was basically Lubbock to about a little south of Atlanta, and then finally, as it gets to the coast, it starts taking that right turn. Strong high pressure builds in for Sunday and in the early next week, bringing much colder air again to the plains and a lot of the Midwest. It'll feel a little more like winter too, but again, not what we really want to see. It's not as organized as we would like. We're not seeing the two streams, the northern polar stream and the southern stream phase together, merge together to really strengthen that storm. It kind of is just left out to dry. Why? Again, because of high pressure that's really suppressing that system and keeping it south. It keeps things from coming together. The system starts losing steam over time because it starts losing its support and its moisture. So our forecast for this particular event at this point in time, you'll probably see very different ones out there depending on what model someone wants to follow. Ours we've actually put together after looking at several different models. The bullseye for the snow on all of them is pretty much across Missouri, Kansas City, St. Louis, 6 to 9 inches. That'll also get you into the western and southern portions of Illinois and as far west as eastern Kansas and even northeastern Oklahoma as well, 6 to 9 inches of snow. Around that, we're looking at a general 3 to 6 inches from Peoria, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and on east towards the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. And then around all of that, finally, we have 1 to 3 inches of snow. Des Moines to Chicago, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Columbus and Dayton, and on off into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1 to 3 inches of snow there. And it'll be a sharp cutoff with that snow. You'll go from 1, 2 to 3 inches of snow pretty quickly. You'll also go from snow to no snow very quickly. Again, because of that high pressure suppressing the system south, it really just dries it all up. If you're in northern Ohio right now, I think you see less than an inch of snow. But we're going to be dealing with some dry air issues working into that area. Again, with the high pressure, if you're up into Michigan, I don't think you're really worried about much snow at all at this point. If you see anything, it'll be far southern Michigan, just flurries. And I think that's generally going to be the case for much of northern Ohio. Maybe a light snow Saturday night, but nothing of consequence at this point. We'll keep an eye on the latest model trends and provide you updates as we go through late this week and this weekend. Stay tuned.